This level offers no new enemies, it offers no new weapons. It's fairly long, it can be kind of confusing, and the overall tone and ideas behind it are very repetitive and dull. So, I don't really have much good to say about this particular level. I wish I could say, well, it's at least short, or hey, at least it does some creative stuff, but it really doesn't. It's basically corridor leading to open area where you're going to get shot a lot, to corridor to open area where you're going to get shot a lot. And it's just repeated for about 20 minutes.
Right. Your only constant friend being Brown.
Yeah. And powder kegs that won't be destroyed. I mean, some of the levels at least had some creative ideas, some, alright, graphic effects and things. But this is like, look at that trap. That's a trap.
That was pretty devious.
Yeah, and it's not even the main problem that I run into with this level. That's something I come into later. But it's just, this level doesn't need to exist. Like, you could probably cut, like, it seriously seems like they were just trying to fill up cartridge space. So they kind of left in these, like, halfway finished levels.
Well, if they were trying to fill up cartridge space, you'd think they would have used more textures.
No, they didn't want to put more work into it, so they just kind of shoved in half-finished bullshit. Like, this big ass room here has maybe, like, one real enemy and, like, two of these little small bullshit enemies. What kind of challenge is that? It's dumb. It's got some bear traps. That's pretty dangerous. And that shit's on fire. Ooh.
It kind of sounds like the noises those things are making kind of remind me of the head crabs from Half-Life. I'm wondering if they stole that sound, that noise.
It could very well be. I mean, even the original Duke Nukem made by Apogee was incredibly ripped off textures and things like that. So
yeah, derivative is the only classic thing that Duke Nukem ever did.
Yeah, and I mean, even a bunch of, like, the sound bites from Duke one-liners are all just stuff from other previous Duke Nukem games. It's really a bit pathetic, and, like, even the new lines, like the earlier one in this level was like, the original Cannonball Run. Really nobody playing this game would understand that. Like, Cannonball Run was, like, 25 years before this game was made, and even then, nobody watched Cannonball Run.
That is true. I don't think even the actors in it watched it. Let's see, it was Burt Reynolds and who's that fat guy? Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise had Jackie Chan.
It did have Jackie Chan, and
he was an Asian. It had that big tall fucker that played Jaws from that James Bond movie.
It had a chimp.
It had Peter Falk. Not Peter Falk. Who played Kojak?
What's his name? Something with an S. Anyway, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Kojak.
It had a lot of C-grade comedic and TV actors from the time. And it also had a stupid plot about racing. So.
Well, the plot was basically, there was a prize, and all you had to do was, like, race across the country. But then the wackiness ensues because, like, the cops were trying to stop the race, but then the cops were kind of, like, in on the race, and I don't know. It was awful.
It was how many stupid guest stars can we shove into one movie? A lot.
But yeah, at least we know John St. John will live on forever in his shitty one-liners.
Well, he actually does quite a bit of other voice acting work. So.
But this is all he'll ever be remembered for.
Sure. We'll go with that.
It's time to kick Brown and chew Brownell gum, and I'm all out of Brown.
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 Speaking of Brown, I'm in deep shit. Ha!
Nice segue. That's pretty.
Yeah, I've taken a lot of damage while we've been rambling on about Cannonball Run, but that's okay because five life is doable against a turret that does way too much damage. Thankfully, I've actually got plenty of grenade rounds, so that makes it a bit easier. Not tremendously easier, but I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Hooray! With 5 health.
Good job.
Yeah, I was very glad not to die here and lose like 25 minutes worth of gameplay.
So seriously, if you die there, they make you just start over?
Yeah, there are no checkpoints. There's no mid-game saving. There's nothing like that.
You know, I know game design was further along than this in 2000. It's really hard to believe this game is from 2000.
Yeah, I know there were some poor design decisions that came with the 64 and different 64 games. Like, I've played my fair share of fighting games from the 64, and all of them were awful. But this is just like an entire level of shit that's just wrong. And if I could go back in time, I would set a nuke at the center of Old West. And I would go.
Now we know how the conspiracy started.
I would go to Fort Roswell because an alien apparently might have crashed there in the 50s. I guess that's why we should reference it in the game, right? Sure.
All I know is that cool. I don't know. This brown is actually. I'm actually kind of starting to like it. It's kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like a warm slipper for my eyes.
And can I also point out there is going to be a boss. There's going to be.
It's a burning covered wagon. That's the boss for the level.
Yeah, it's kind of like a precursor to Shadow of the Colossus. We're gonna have to climb onto that burning wagon in a intense QTE event. It's gonna be about 20 minutes long.
Mash on X to teabag burning covered wagon.
I say the only good Nukem is a dead Nukem. Hey, asshole. Time for your last stand.
Who the hell is this?
Hey,
I don't know, but he was voiced by Foghorn Leghorn, apparently. I say.
There can only be one Nukem in this stupid-ass game.
I think that was supposed to be Custer, but I think Custer would have been dead by 1848.
I really don't know, but that's the end of the stage. We'll see you next time for more of this bullshit.
Bye, kids.